Guard Your Grill Boxing, 2010. What's up, YouTubers? We're back. Coltrane will be joining us shortly.
Coltrane right here. He ain't never left. GYGB, what up?
Steven Luevano, Juan Manuel Lopez. Got an interview with Steve on our podcast. I'm talking to you guys. Make sure you check that out. But they're fighting for his featherweight title. I think it's the WBO. I believe so. It's the WBO title. It's his sixth title defense. Juan Manuel Lopez coming off his struggle with Mtagwa, who we got to get on the show because you know he represent Philadelphia. I know he's by way of Africa, I believe.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, he's out of Philly, you know. So I'm just checking news and updates, making sure nothing going on, on the boxing wire. So where are you at with this fight per se?
Well, let's start with the undercard. I guess that would be the Gamboa fight, right?
Yuriorkis Gamboa, forgot about that. Which essentially is going to be Yuriorkis Gamboa versus Juan Manuel Lopez, right, into next year.
Right, which I guess the fight is everyone is anticipating. Mtagwa gave Juan Manuel Lopez a tough time. I remember that 11th round, like Lopez was about to go to sleep. With that being said, Lopez pulled it out. I think that Gamboa, albeit, 15 fights or so he has under his belt.
Something like that.
I think
27, 28 years old, though, so he's not a young guy.
Right. I think the fight is going to be, it's going to be a pretty entertaining fight. I believe that Gamboa is going to pull it out. I'm actually picking him to stop Mtagwa.
Oh, you get no argument here.
In probably I would say like the 7th round or so. I think Gamboa is a rough, tough as nails type of customer. I think he really wants that fight with Juan Manuel Lopez, and I think his will and desire is going to really and truthfully be the determining factor at the end of the day.
Yeah, I was speaking on this on a radio show. Roger Mtagwa, he's a guy that he's wet paint. That's what I like to call him. He's going to dry off real quick. You know what I mean? That's the analogy I like to use, like wet paint. He's sticky and it gets all over you initially, but once it's dry over, it just paint on the wall. Right. And that's what Roger Mtagwa's fight game is. And I think Juan Manuel Lopez overlooked Roger Mtagwa. And no disrespect to the guy, he's a tough guy. And Juan Manuel Lopez do got some flaws that I saw in his fight game. But however, I think that they were just looking at him, as you see so many times in boxing, you just look at a dude as an opponent, and you get caught up in a dog fight, and that's what happened with Juan Manuel Lopez and Roger Mtagwa. And Yuriorkis Gamboa was physically stronger, physically faster. He's just a this guy's like a junior middleweight,
exactly.
Featherweight's body.
I failed to mention that how big he was.
He's big. Yeah. He's chinny, but like I said, a lot of his knockdowns is because he's off balance. He leaves his feet when he throws punches. So when he gets tagged on the counter, it's because he's out of position. His feet's not planted properly. So that's a lot of that tribute to that. So. And to his credit, he gets right up. Like, we never see him seriously hurt, where he was totally out on his feet. So I got Yuriorkis Gamboa snowstorming right through that, through Roger Mtagwa. So I think we're in agreement. I'm gonna say I think 7 or less. I don't see this fight going past 7 rounds.
There you go.
5'7", which is a tall for a featherweight. I'm 5'7", but if I was fighting that featherweight, I'd be a giant. You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
Them guys is little. They're 5'4", 5'5", no matter what they height list, And he's a naturally tall guy for a featherweight.
Right.
Juan Manuel Lopez.
Yep. And, is another guy that's set up for success. They put him around. He had, I think that everyone knew about him, but I think his coming out party, in my opinion, would be when he basically white-walled Daniel Ponce de Leon. Yeah, so it was like, it was one of those things, I think like Coltrane said, that last fight, he probably took, Mtagwa, took him right, he gave him some trouble in the beginning,
like I said, he's a 5'7", southpaw stance, he's a tall guy.
Right, he doesn't really punch hard, but I think that, the jab can keep him off balance. He has very good technical skills. He really does. But with that being said, I do see Juan Manuel Lopez, winning this fight, possibly, by 11-round stoppage. Possibly. I mean, this guy, and the reason why I say that is because, I think that anybody that thinks that Juan Manuel Lopez is going to walk over this guy would just be disrespect to his opponent. You know, I think that this guy has a lot to offer. You know, he's a very sound technical fighter. That's just my opinion.
See, here's the problem with, and I said this, and I'm not just saying this just here. I told Steve this, you know, and when I spoke to him live on the phone on the radio show, is that unless you knock Juan Manuel Lopez out, you're not winning the decision.
No,
you're not going to Puerto Rico, aka New York, at the Madison Square Garden getting a victory. It's just not happening, and he knows this, and he understands that in order for him to win this fight, that he's going to have to beat Juan Manuel Lopez extremely bad, if not knock him out. So I don't know if Luevano possessed those type of skills where he can just go in and destroy Juan Manuel Lopez. Juan Manuel Lopez is going to be looking to make a name. If things go according to plan, Gamboa knocks Mtagwa out, so that now the stakes is raised. Juan Manuel Lopez now feels as though he got to step his weight up and put on a stellar performance, and that might be to Luevano's detriment. And he might get air real quick and real early in that fight. You know what I mean?
So if it goes decision, like you said, shout out to Claudia and Cotto.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah. You know, speaking of that, and that's that on that front. So I got Juan Manuel Lopez winning this fight. I can potentially see it being a controversial decision. Got all the makings for that. But I think Luevano will be there. His boxing ability should pose Juan Manuel Lopez some problems. But Juan Manuel Lopez, you know, is the overall better fighter. He's the better athlete out of the two. Luevano can get his fight game is a little bit methodical, and against a dude like Juan Manuel Lopez, I don't know if methodical is a good look. But that being said, I still see it going to the cards. I got Juan Manuel Lopez winning the fight. You know, I can see one on fights being 115, 113 either way. Roy and Roy Jones. See, we haven't been around for a lot of this stuff. Roy Jones knocked out by Danny Green over in Australia. You know, he claimed it was a what did he say?
Hit behind the head.
You know what?
He kind of protested, but you know, Roy's chinny on his chin and behind his head.
You know what, man?
Roy has a chinny neck.
Let me just jump right to the fight. What this is? Take my wallet out. Put my wallet on the ground. I don't want no. This is what this is. Take all your money. Put it on the floor. It's a sticker. This is a sticker. And Bernard, you know, shout out to Bernard. Listen, I'm not mad. Get your money. I'm not buying that fight. You know, I know some people will. There's people that's going to buy that fight.
I think this.
If De La Hoya came back tomorrow and fought Felix Trinidad, that fight will outshine most fights. They don't triple most of these fights that's out now.
But that's the point. You said something interesting. You know, when you're an athlete of a certain caliber, you know, and you've accomplished everything in life, it's almost like, remember De Niro in Heat?
No doubt.
He could have got away. But he said, you know,
good analogy.
He said, you know, I gotta take care of one more thing.
Ego.
And that's what I think it is too.
That new suit. I'm a whole album. Speaking of people that got egos, you know what I mean?
Yeah, right. So, you know, honestly, you know, Bernard could retire, but his whole thing is, hold on, before I leave, let me go see Roy about something. You know, this is the fight I've always wanted, whether Roy's 100% or 50 or 40%.
It's an easy paycheck, too.
Yeah.
It's an easy paycheck for Bernard. He's looking at it like, look, people are going to buy this. They're cutting a check for it. Why not?
Right.
Why am I going to fly over to Australia? Maybe I'll make a couple more $1 million, but this is a safe, easy $1 million I can make versus flying over to fight some big cruiserweight.
Plus, on top of that, in terms of legacy, you basically, you know,
cement your legacy by racing the L, no doubt.
The L, you know, which is why I believe that, like you said, De La Hoya would come back if Trinidad won the fight.
The fight is Berto. When he throws punches, his head is always back like this.
Right.
And I just see Shane throwing straight punches or around the corner punches, however Shane throw them windmill punches that he throw. And Berto has never fought an animal like this. You know, Shane has fought pretty much every style known to man in boxing. Now this is a major step up for Andre Berto. And the last time we seen Berto, he was struggling against a guy that can box, but a guy that can't crack. And a guy that could have knocked him out, but don't forget Berto gets tired too. Now you don't want to get tired against this helicopter blade, Shane Mosley, because that's what it's going to be like. You know, you seen with Margarito how he softened him up, anybody that lost anybody in Haiti. You know, GYGB, everybody on our front did our part as far as contributions go to Haiti. If you haven't did anything, I don't care if it's $1, 50 cents. I know the cell phones doing the text 9099, $10 off your phone bill. Man, we spend $10 at McDonald's, you know, on 2 Happy Meals. So